Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Les Wong, President of San Francisco State University. Those of you in academic regalia may remove your caps if you so choose. And also for everyone's convenience, we ask that you please turn off your cell phones. Thank you. As President of San Francisco State University, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to our 2016 Honors Convocation. I am fortunate to lead San Francisco State, and I have great pride in what we accomplish at this university. More than 100 of our finest accomplishments are sitting behind me on the stage this evening. All of these students have met the highest standards during their years here, rising to the challenges put to them by our outstanding faculty. They have enriched our lives, for education is a distinctly two-way process, and we must trust that we have enriched their lives as well. We want our honor students to know that their achievements have been recognized, and so we have gathered here this evening at the end of the academic year to applaud them for their fine work and to wish them well as they prepare to graduate. We trust that they are leaving with an education that has prepared them to inquire freely, to think and analyze independently, and as they have heard from me very, very often, to own their own mind. And we trust that they are leaving with that distinctive feature of a San Francisco State education that we cherish dearly, the ability to apply their knowledge in ways that will better the world around them. Okay. You can sit down. Okay. Representatives of the university community are here to join with us in this convocation, and you will meet many of them as the evening proceeds, but I would like to introduce others of them now. So I would ask that the following individuals please stand as I introduce you. Dr. Lolo Hong, Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. Jennifer Summit, Dean of Undergraduate Studies. Deborah Masters, University Librarian. Lily G., President of the University Women's Association, whose members are this evening official convocation greeters and the host of our reception at the Student Center later tonight. Our two marshals, Dr. John Carlos Perea, Assistant Professor of American Indian Studies, and William Christmas, Professor of English Language and Literature. I would also like to recognize our two faculty marshals, Connie Ulasewicz, Professor of Apparel Design and Merchandising, and Dorothy Saruta, Professor of Africana Studies. Business and community leaders often ask me, what is the key ingredient to the educational magic that happens at San Francisco State? And my answer is well rehearsed, because I often say talent. As this audience knows well, we attract some of the most talented students in the world. Then we introduce these talented students to one of the world's finest teaching faculties who have come to San Francisco State out of a desire to make a real difference in the lives of students. That intersection between student and faculty talent is what makes magic happen here. To acknowledge that relationship, each year we ask the chief representative of the faculty, the chair of the Academic Senate, to address our honorees and our guests. Dr. Troy Carlton joined San Francisco State as a faculty member in 1996 and is a professor of linguistics in the English department. She has led the faculty of San Francisco State this year as chair of the Academic Senate. For 2 decades, Dr. Carlton has served San Francisco State as a highly respected teacher and an accomplished scholar. In addition to her work as a faculty member, she has been committed to the preservation and documentation of endangered languages around the world. Dr. Carlton's academic career has been centered on the notion that community members are stakeholders in the documentation and preservation of their linguistic traditions. In the mountains of Oaxaca, Mexico, her work has concentrated on creating and building an archive of the community's oral history in Zapotec for their municipal museum and international digital archives. Students join her to work on the archives for 3 weeks each summer. Dr. Carlton is a first-rate teacher and scholar, but she also lends her talents to making the community around her a better place. In short, she is a great citizen of this university. I am now pleased to present Dr. Troy Carlton.
Thank you, President Wong. Felicidades a todos. Congratulations to all of you. It is such an honor to be here to celebrate all of the hard work, perseverance, and impressive accomplishments represented by our new graduates here at San Francisco State. You are here with your family and your friends because you have not only reached a level of achievement in this institution that merits special recognition, you have also demonstrated high potential for great achievements in the future. Your achievements in the future, however, go beyond your quantifiable GPAs and any salaries that lay ahead. Your achievements will be tied to your character and your vision of what is a humane and just world. It will tap into your intrinsic qualities as human beings and as citizens of our global and local communities. I'd like to begin with a story that has nothing to do with convocation or really any of you, but it will tie in hopefully as we move forward. So my husband's from Mexico City. We've been married for 19 years. Yay. And for 19 years, my in-laws from Mexico City call on birthdays, they call on graduations, school award ceremonies that they miss, talent show performances they can't attend. Basically anything we celebrate, they call. They begin every conversation with me on all these occasions with felicidades. It's puzzled me for years. I didn't turn 5, why are you congratulating me? I didn't graduate from 8th grade, why are you congratulating me? I didn't just get accepted into college, why are you congratulating me? In fact, from my perspective, it never really actually mattered who did what, I was going to get congratulated for it. That's cool, I just chalked it up to something quirky that Mexico City people do when they call long distance. It was fine. Then it dawned on me at an embarrassingly late stage in the game. My kid didn't just turn 5. She was nurtured and loved and supported for 5 years of her life, and now we were all celebrating it together. Just as we celebrated graduating from 8th grade, and just as we celebrated her getting into college. In other words, she didn't just happen. People invested in her, and not just family. A best friend, a middle school history teacher, a teenage math tutor who lived across the street, a next door neighbor. It's taken a team of folks to get my kid where she is today. And this gets at the heart of what we all understand community to be. Community means connecting, engaging, and investing. Community means supporting one another without the expectation of quid pro quo. So really, congratulations or felicidades is in fact the appropriate offering for friends, family, teachers, mentors who have been a part of supporting these newly minted graduates and the awesome achievements that they have made. We have invested in you, 2016 San Francisco State graduates, because we believe in you, and we are confident that you will make a difference out there. But it's a funny type of investment. It's not one that we expect direct payback on. Instead, you might say we've paid it forward. The concept of paying it forward actually dates back a millennia. It was first introduced in 317 BC by the award-winning Greek playwright Menander. Paying it forward describes an event where the beneficiary of good deeds repays it to others instead of the original benefactor. The ancient concept is simple, but the consequences can be quite profound. When we engage in civility and kindness, when we show compassion and generosity, When we invest in promoting social justice and equity without the slightest expectation of being repaid directly, we make the world a better place. That's just a fact. Benjamin Franklin was the first to dust off this concept in 1784 in a letter to a friend. He wrote, quote, "I do not pretend to give such a deed, I only lend it to you. When you meet with another honest man in similar distress, you must pay me by lending this sum to him, enjoining him to discharge the debt by like operation when he shall be able and shall meet with another opportunity. I hope it may thus go through many hands before it meets with the knave that will stop its progress." End quote. 100 years later, in 1874, Ralph Waldo Emerson picked up on this thread and famously wrote, quote, "In the order of nature, we cannot render benefits to those from whom we receive them, or only seldom. But the benefit we receive must be rendered again, line by line, deed for deed, cent for cent, to somebody." And then finally, another 100 years later, in the 20th century, another favorite, Ray Bradbury's book, Dandelion Wine. He wrote, quote, "How do I thank Mr. Jonas," he wondered, "for what he's done? How do I thank him? How do I pay him back? No way at all. You just can't pay. What then? What? Pass it on to someone else," he thought. Pass it on. Keep the chain moving. Look around, find somebody, and pass it on. That's the only way. Throughout life, we are all both benefactors and recipients of good deeds, support, and mentoring. And while I get great joy from mentoring my own students, I still, even at my age, have my mentors. That's how it works. That's how we connect. That's what we mean by tapping into intrinsic qualities of humanity and character. It is a simple social contract, a contract that requires faith in the goodness of humankind and the belief that with each good deed, with each act of kindness or support, with each civil dialogue that we engage in, we are contributing to making a humane and just world. There are so many ways that we can pay it forward. An easy place to start is with simple acts of kindness. The ripple effect caused by these simple acts can be profound. I'd like to conclude with a story that's very meaningful to me and I think exemplifies both the ripple effect of kindness as well as the profound consequences of paying it forward. It's a story that has guided my life. It's about my dad. My dad was an amazing man. In my mind, he was larger than life and he was my hero. No question about it. He was an idealist. He believed in the principles of democracy and good citizenship. He was a guy who would quote the Federalist Papers at the dinner table, which was super fun when you were 10. He was opinionated, wickedly intelligent, which meant in many cases you either loved him or hated him. But above all, he was a kind and just man, which made him very wise. He came from a humble background. His parents were barely literate. He grew up in a blue-collar neighborhood in Hayward during the 40s and 50s. And early on, he knew what was right and what was wrong and had a moral fortitude and courage that I've admired my whole life. I've personally never known a man who embodied such generosity and an innate sense of social justice. He used to always give my sister and me the same advice. 1, all honest work is good work, so do your best regardless. 2, don't sweat the small stuff, it'll kill you. And 3, always err on the side of kindness and generosity. He didn't tell us much about his childhood, but there were a few stories that he shared with us. One time he told us about this kid in high school he sort of took under his wing and befriended. This kid was an awkward kid. He was prone to bullying, and my dad, as you can imagine, had no patience for bullies whatsoever. And I remember him telling us, he was a nice kid. I didn't get it. He'd be off in the corner by himself and so ostracized. So I invited him to come and hang out with us. My dad was his sort of unofficial bodyguard and always looking out for him. My dad also refused to go to his own high school dances because he said, and I'm just saying it euphemistically, he said they were mean. He used other words. So he would date girls from other high schools and go to their dances and always get a date for this kid. At any rate, these two graduate from high school. My dad goes off to San Jose State to study political science. He doesn't really think about high school and this kid again. He's got his life going on. Now fast forward to 1969. It's the height of the Vietnam War. My dad's lottery number comes up for the draft, and he goes in. There are lots of long lines that he has to choose from. He gets in one line, and when he finally gets up to the front, who's sitting on the other side of the table but this kid that he had looked out for in high school? This kid was now in the Army and literally in a position to decide my dad's fate. He takes one look at my dad, immediately recognizes him, smiles, they chat for a moment, and finally the guy says, "Say, Willie, you like to cook, right?" My dad said, "Sure, yeah." And that moment, my dad's immediate future was decided. Instead of sending him to the front line, this kid, who my dad looked out for all those years earlier, sent my dad to Kentucky to be a cook in the reserves for the remainder of the war. Is this the ripple effect of kindness or the profound consequence of paying it forward? Who knows? But I like to think so. So, class of 16, remember, community is what you make of it, and the world is yours to improve upon. Go out there, work hard, don't sweat the small stuff, err on the side of kindness and generosity, and pay it forward. Felicidades a todos.
Hello, I'm Sue Rosser, the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Thank you, Senate Chair Carlton, for your heartfelt remarks on the investment we make as a community in the future of our students we celebrate tonight. A future we all agree should always value and promote the importance of kindness and generosity. Moreover, thank you for reminding all of us about the value of hard, honest work, not sweating the small stuff, and honoring that investment by passing it on to benefit others in the community. Tonight, we are honoring students for their outstanding achievements at San Francisco State University. First, we will honor those students who were inducted as members of Phi Beta Kappa. Next, we will honor 107 undergraduate students who are graduating in the top 1.5% of the students from their academic colleges. Most of them will graduate magna cum laude or summa cum laude. I'm very impressed. I'm sure you are too. The third group includes 57 undergraduates who have been selected by their academic departments and programs to receive special recognition for excellence in a particular field. The final group includes 6 students who have been singled out to represent all of the graduating seniors in their respective colleges. Each of the 6 colleges, along with the special majors program, is invited to select one outstanding student to represent all the others at the honors convocation here tonight and also at commencement tomorrow. They are selected because of their outstanding academic achievements and other significant accomplishments that you will hear about throughout this evening. These 6 students seated here in the front row will receive the symbolic investiture of the hood at commencement ceremonies tomorrow. Phi Beta Kappa. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the first installation of our Phi Beta Kappa chapter members at San Francisco State University. The president of the university chapter is Dr. Masahiko Manami, who is in the audience tonight. Dr. Manami, will you please stand? Ours is a university that stresses the liberal arts as the basis for all instruction. Phi Beta Kappa, the oldest honorary society in the United States, founded the same year as our country, recognizes those students who have successfully demonstrated breadth and depth in the study in the sciences, the humanities, and the behavioral and social sciences. The National Society of Phi Beta Kappa established Omicron of California at San Francisco State University 40 years ago in 1976. Since then, only 912 San Francisco State University students have met the requirements to be elected to Phi Beta Kappa out of a pool of more than 182,000 graduating students. As you can see, the selection process is quite rigorous. I am proud to introduce the Phi Beta Kappa members who are able to join us tonight, who have been initiated into the Omicron of California chapter. I ask that each member please stand as I call your name and remain standing until all members are named. They are Rebecca Blandino, Andy Chan, Cody Coe, Esteban Francisco Lopez, Kayla Tolentino. Please join me in congratulating these students for their outstanding academic achievements. You may be seated now. I would now like to introduce the Dean of the College of Business, Linda Oubre, who will present the faculty representatives and students accorded high academic honors from the College of Business.
Thank you, Provost Rosser. I would now like to introduce the faculty from the College of Business. I'd like to remind the audience to please hold your applause until all the names are announced. Jean Wong, Accounting. Robert Saltzman, I'm sorry, please stand. Oh, there you are, Jean. Sorry. Robert Saltzman, Decision Sciences. Susanna Janko, Economics. Yuli Su, Finance. Susan Rowe, Hospitality and Tourism Management. David Chow, Information Systems. Roblin Simeon, International Business. Antoinetta Petkova, Management. And Judy Strabel, Marketing. Thank you. You may now be seated. As I introduce the honor students from the College of Business, I would ask that each student please stand and remain standing until all of the students from the category have been presented. Please hold your applause until all the students have been called. Students graduated in the top 1.5% for the College of Business in order of their majors are in Accounting, Hung-Soo Ko, Jonathan Liu, Janine Reyes, Johanna Tsai. In Decision Sciences, Dan Nguyen, a double major in Information Systems. In Finance, Saja Alahussein, Brielle Black, Philip Chang, Cody Coe, Randy Lloyd, Mohammed Nakvi, Nina Ten, and Mark Patrick Weller. In Hospitality and Tourism Management, Caroline Meyer. In Information Systems, Brian McCaffrey and Dan Nguyen again. In Management, Ni Trong. And in Marketing, Kyle Hunter Clark. Please join me in congratulating the honorees. You may now be seated. I would now like to present those students who have been selected by their departments for special recognition. Jonathan Liu, Accounting. Dan Nguyen, Decision Sciences. Esteban Francisco Lopez, Economics. Randy Lloyd, Finance. Vian Hu, Hospitality and Tourism Management. Rongguan Huang, Information Systems. Nana Okiyama, International Business. Michelle Flores Pulido, Labor and Employment Studies. Alina Marie Roldan, Management. And Olivia Dupont, Marketing. Please join me in congratulating them. You may now be seated. As Provost Rosser mentioned, each of the colleges selects one student to receive the hood tonight on behalf of all of its graduates. I'm very pleased to introduce this year's hood recipient from the College of Business, Dan Nguyen, a double major in decision sciences and information systems. Mr. Nguyen was born in Saigon, Vietnam, where his father was a prisoner of war. He then immigrated to the United States with his family as participants in the Orderly Departure Program at age 7. Even at that young age, Mr. Nguyen was aware of the large differences between the two cultures, and he worked hard to overcome difficulties in school, including the language barrier, bullying, racism, and violence, in order to fulfill his dream of higher education. Mr. Nguyen considers knowledge and awareness to be the keys to success, which he delivers as the level of internal happiness a person achieves. Which he defines, the level of internal happiness a person achieves. Consequently, he volunteers for 2 nonprofit organizations in Oakland, the Vietnamese American Community Center of the East Bay and the Hoang Vietnamese Language School, where he serves as a lion dancer, vice principal, English as a second language teacher, and counselor. Mr. Nguyen chose to study at San Francisco State because its values, courage, life of the mind, equity, community, and resilience, closely align with his own. Over the past year, he has helped many of his fellow students by serving as a tutor for the challenging Decision Sciences 412 Operations Management course. And I have to say, I used to think he lived on the 3rd floor of the business building where the tutoring center is. Mr. Nguyen hopes his education will allow him to give back to the community. He chose to major in decision sciences in order to learn the quantitative skills that can support major business decisions, which in turn greatly impact stakeholders locally and abroad. Congratulations, Dan, on all you have achieved. We wish you all the best in the future. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dean Judith Munter, who will present the faculty representatives and the student from the Graduate College of Education.
Thank you very much, Dean O'Brien. The Graduate College of Education is the only college at San Francisco State University that is primarily a graduate school, preparing students who already have their baccalaureate degrees as they become professional educators and service providers. The Graduate College of Education offers 1 undergraduate degree, a Bachelor of Arts in Communicative Disorders, within the Department of Special Education. Representing the faculty from the Graduate College of Education's undergraduate program tonight is Dr. Betty Yu. Please stand, Dr. Yu. Thank you. The following students from the Department of Special Education, majoring in communicative disorders, is among those who are graduating with high academic honors. Lisandra Gutierrez, Amy Paredes, congratulations. Now I would like to present the student who has been selected as our college's department honoree, Shauna Ream, Special Education. Congratulations. I am proud to introduce Taylor Freeman, the undergraduate Hood recipient for the Graduate College of Education. She is graduating from the Communicative Disorders program with a Bachelor of Arts degree. Ms. Freeman exemplifies the very best that her future profession of speech-language pathology has to offer. She has consistently excelled, both in her academics and in her service to the community. As the elected president of the San Francisco State University chapter of the National Student Speech, Language, Hearing Association, Taylor has been a visionary leader and a highly effective organizer. Ms. Freeman's passion for becoming a speech-language pathologist began when she worked in her grandmother's special day classroom, located in a low socioeconomic area along the Sacramento Delta. She watched many specialists come into the classroom, but she was most fascinated by the speech-language pathologists. She says she did not know it then, but her career choice was blossoming. During her first year here in our college in the Communicative Disorders program, Ms. Freeman was elected to be the president of the National Student Speech Language Hearing Association, and she has been a truly outstanding leader to her peers. Her numerous volunteer experiences have exposed her to people with communication difficulties and other challenges, and her outstanding performance in the rigorous communicative disorders courses has trained her to be a well-rounded individual and an outstanding future clinician. This year alone, she has led weekly mentoring sessions and cabinet meetings, planned 2 highly successful conferences, and facilitated 2 communicative disorders program student orientations. Ms. Freeman has been truly essential to the communicative disorder program's capacity to provide high quality experiences for our students. Even so, she has maintained a high grade point average and also developed many professional relationships. We are delighted to know that she will continue her educational journey here at San Francisco State in the Communicative Disorders Master's Program beginning in fall of 2016. Congratulations, Taylor. I am now pleased to introduce my colleague, Dean Ken Montero, Dean of the College of Ethnic Studies, who will present the faculty representatives and honors students from the College of Ethnic Studies. Dean Montero.
Thank you, Dean Munter. The department chairs and faculty from the College of Ethnic Studies in attendance tonight: Siri McDougall, Africana Studies, if you'd stand; Andrew Jolivet, American Indian Studies; Eric Pito, Asian American Studies; Dorothy Saruda, Africana Studies. I'd like to thank these very, very dedicated faculty. Thank you. The following students from the College of Ethnic Studies are among those graduating with high honors: Fern Echevarria, Latino Studies. You'd stand. Yes. Asian American Studies, David Conway Penn. We can congratulate those two. You now be seated. Thank you. Departmental honors for the College of Ethnic Studies go to Richard Leonard Pelote, Africana Studies; Lisa Dersher Herr, Asian American Studies; and Fern Echevarria, Latino Studies. You may now be seated. It is truly my honor tonight to introduce this year's Hood recipient for the College of Ethnic Studies, Richard Leonard Pelote, who is graduating with a bachelor's degree in Africana Studies. A decorated U.S. Air Force veteran, Mr. Richard Pelote is a dedicated young Africana Studies scholar. We would like to recognize Mr. Pelote in particular for his academic excellence and social responsibility. He represents the highest standards of commitment to scholastic merit in Africana Studies. In addition to maintaining excellent grades, Mr. Pelote often serves as an ambassador between our campus in our local community. Among his career goals are teaching middle and high school students about African and African American history. Mr. Pilote has dedicated his life to community service. He served as a youth mentor at the Youth Justice Center in San Francisco. He's currently a youth development coordinator responsible for planning, coordinating, and carrying out educational and mentorship programs. He consistently emerges as a group leader and is among the highest scoring students in his classes. For instance, in Professor Donalisa Fisher's Anthropology of Blackness course, Mr. Pilote led a unit focused on linguistic research and theory. Mr. Pilote guided his peers through challenging terminology and course concepts using accessible models and modes of communication. In Professor Siri McDougall's research methods class, Mr. Pilote led his team in conducting an empirical, quantitative study on the relationships between racial identity and academic achievement. Mr. Pilote engaged in a range of arts while studying at San Francisco State. Notably, he was cast as a voice actor for Dr. Trevor Getz's animated version of the graphic novel Abina and the Important Men. Mr. Pilote exemplifies the founding philosophies of our discipline as well as those of our university. I want us to appreciate Mr. Pilote. I'd like to introduce my colleague, Dean Alvin Alvarez, who will present the faculty representatives and honor students for the College of Health and Social Sciences.
Thank you, Dean Montero. The department chairs and faculty representatives here tonight from the College of Health and Social Sciences, and please stand as I call your name, are Allison Baruti, Child and Adolescent Development; Connie Ulasowitz, Consumer and Family Studies, Dietetics; Jose Ramon Fernandez Peña, Health Education; Maria Verai, Kinesiology; Elaine Musselman, School of Nursing; Carlos Davidson, Public Affairs and Civic Engagement; Eric Rosegard, Chair, Recreation, Parks and Tourism; Gerald Shapiro, School of Social Work; and Trudy Coker, Sociology and Sexuality Studies. Can you join me in congratulating our colleagues? Thank you. The following students from the College of Health and Social Sciences are among those graduating with high academic honors. In Child and Adolescent Development, Alyssa Lauren Ross. Please stand. In Nursing, Elena Druhavitz. Also in Nursing, Brianna Ann Feinberg. Kathleen McFall, Helen Lorenzen, and Julia Meinhold. In Consumer Family Studies and Dietetics, Catherine von Rominger. Could you join me in congratulating these students? Thank you. Our students here tonight who are given special recognition by their department are, and please stand as I call your name, Alyssa Lauren Ross, Child and Adolescent Development; Colin Wong, Consumer and Family Studies, Dietetics; Kayla Tolentino, Health Education; Lenka Fate, Kinesiology; Kathleen McFall, School of Nursing; Patrick Sue, Recreation, Parks and Tourism; Latanya Williams, Social Work; and Rosella Delgado, Sociology and Sexuality Studies. Please join me in applauding our class. Thank you. I'm both delighted and honored to introduce this year's Hood recipient for the College of Health and Social Sciences, Colin Wong. Colin, would you please stand? Colin is a distinguished undergraduate student from the Consumer Family Studies and Dietetics Department. He is also double majoring in family and consumer sciences and liberal studies and graduating in an amazing 3 years. 4 years ago, Colin lost his vision. He wrote, "The transition from being able to see completely to nothing at all was devastating, heartbreaking, humbling, and yet a priceless learning opportunity for me to grow as a person. At age 17, I had to learn to walk again, learn how to read, learn how to be a new person, and it was hard. I realized I'm not the only person going through life like this. My disability is only an obstacle if I made it an obstacle, and it gave me a new view on life." Active both on and off campus, he was a peer counselor in the Safe Place, which stands for Sexual Abuse-Free Environment on campus. He worked with Guide Dogs for the Blind for the past 2 years and has spoken to over 120 students across 5 different public schools about guide dogs. As you'll see by his side, his golden lab, named Wednesday, is his sweet and constant companion on campus. He's also an athletic coach with Kids Enjoy Exercise Now, KEEN, a nonprofit organization providing opportunities to youth with disabilities to foster independence and self-esteem through sports and recreation. Colin's heart's desire is to teach children who struggle with their disability, to recognize that it doesn't have to stop them from achieving their goals. He not only models this value, but his genuine care, compassion, and desire for continued growth ensures that children encounter this meaningful message as well. After graduation, Colin will be entering Louisiana Tech, the top program in the country, to pursue a degree in industrial and organizational psychology with a concentration in orientation and mobility. Please join me in congratulating Colin and wishing him the best. I am now pleased to introduce my dear colleague, Sophie Clavier, the Associate Dean of the College of Liberal and Creative Arts, who will present the faculty representatives and honor students from the college.
Thank you, Dean Alvarez. I would like first to introduce the department chairs and faculty members representing the academic departments and programs for the College of Liberal and Creative Arts. And please hold your applause until they are all standing. And they are Christina Rudolo, an American Studies program, Mario Laplante, Art, Joseph McBride, Cinema, Alexandra Papas, Classics, Christina Savi, Communication Studies, Shirin Khan Mohammadi, Comparative and World Literature, Roy Conboy, Creative Writing, Neil Lindemann, English Language and Literature, Eva Shepard-Wolf in History, Carol Bertram in Humanities, Kim Komenich in Journalism, Mariana Ferreira in Liberal Studies, Bradley Sterling Hogarth in Music, James Martell in Political Science, Todd Hoerman, Theater and Dance, and Deb Collar, Women and Gender Studies. Please help me thank our dedicated faculty. And be seated. And now, those students accorded high academic honors from the College of Liberal and Creative Arts. And let's hold our applause until they're all standing. In Broadcast and Electronic Communication Arts, Julian Herrera. In Cinema, Sarah Gonzalez. In Communication Studies, Jacob Oner. In Creative Writing, Nicholas Gianantoni Urbonas and Anna Marr. In Design and Industry, Remdel Kiambo. In English Language and Literature, Nina Mollard and Nicole Walker. In Modern Languages and Literature, Rebecca Betsley and Daniel Sullivan. In Humanities, Margaret Andretich. In International Relations, Nora Larson. In Music, Dalton McLaughlin. In Political Science, Trinity Faith Orman. In In technical and professional writing, Jessica Morley. And in theater and dance, Liam Blaney and Isabella Tui Gasby-Connick. Please join me in congratulating our great students. The following students have been selected by the departments and programs to receive special recognition for excellence in their respective field. Again, kindly withhold your applause until I name all the students in that category. And they are Paige Nicole Thornton, American Studies Program, Timothy Campbell in Anthropology, Lance Kramer, Art, Julian Herrera, Broadcast and Electronic Communication Arts, Kevin Lee Hunter in Classics, Alaya Khadija Shahid, Communication Studies, Jessica Mejia, Comparative and World Literature, Melia Gabriel, Creative Writing, Ricardo Baltazar, Design and Industry, Jessica Morley in English Language and Literature, Eric Noble in History, Margaret Andretich in Humanities, Emma Marie Chiang in Journalism, Jamie Panoza, Liberal Study, Dalton McLaughlin, Music, Nicole Chang, Philosophy, Trinity Faith Orman, Political Science, Liam Blaney, Theater and Dance, and finally, Sprat Shear, Women and Gender Studies. Congratulations all. Please sit down. And now I'm really honored and humbled to introduce the undergraduate Hood recipient for the College of Liberal and Creative Arts, Elia Khadija Shahid. Graduating today with a BA in Communication Studies and a minor in Africana Studies, Elia Khadija Shahid is an impressive and inspiring representative of her undergraduate class at SFSU. Not only is Elia an excellent student, but also she works tirelessly to promote social justice by her words and in her deeds. This past year, Elia joined the debate team for the first time as a novice competitor. And yet she and her debate partner competed at the open level throughout the year, and they defeated, Harvard A team at a high-profile national tournament. They then, yes. They then went on to win first place at the District 1 regional competition. Elia won third place at the national debate tournament. And she and her partner have made waves in the debate community by challenging the normative framework that controls debate rules in order to highlight how those rules reproduce structures of power. As such, she really embodies the SFSU spirit of true advocacy, and she inspires many. She continues to push for people to consider various identities, various standpoints and perspectives, and is considered to be a fierce but also a compassionate participant in all competitions and discussions. In addition to her coursework, Elia makes a difference in the community, working for the past 3 years with high school students in order to prepare them to be first-generation college students. She also recently went with President Wong to Washington, D.C. to advocate for Project Rebound, a program that supports former incarcerated individuals in the pursuit of a CSU education. We are very happy to see that Elia will start an MA in communication here at SF State in the fall. She aspires to go to law school and to become a criminal defense attorney. And finally, she asked me to mention how much she loves her family and how grateful she is for their support. So I and we wish them, as well as Elia, the very, very best. And now to present the faculty representatives and to honor outstanding students from the College of Science and Engineering and Special Programs, I yield the podium to Dean Keith Bowman.
Thank you, Dr. Clavier. So the chairs and the faculty of the College of Science and Engineering here tonight are Carmen Domingo from biology, Jane DeWitt from chemistry and biochemistry, William Hsu from computer science, Mary Leach from earth and climate sciences, Tom Holton from engineering, Barbara Holtzman from geography and environment, David Ellis from mathematics, Stephen Kane from physics and astronomy, and Margaret Lynch from psychology. Please give these faculty your applause. So now I have the privilege to recognize students receiving high academic honors from the College of Science and Engineering. In biochemistry, Adriana Garcia, Sima Rentizi. In biology, Manur Man and Roxana Aguili. In biology with a concentration in cell and molecular biology, Christopher Joseph Black. In biology with a concentration in physiology, Sarah Seaman. In biology with a concentration in zoology, Sean Lucas Deneri. In computer engineering, Roseanne Damasco. In geology, Claire Christine Zerkowski. In mathematics, Justin Fong. In physics, Andy Chan. And in psychology, Jennifer Chow, Anna Teresa Galloway, and Jackie Ip. Please give these students your applause. Please be seated. Thank you. The following students have been selected for special recognition as departmental honorees. Rebecca Blandino from biology, Adriana Garcia from chemistry and biochemistry, Marisa Abril from computer science, Roseanne Damasco from engineering, Claire Christine Zerkowski from geology, Elizabeth Ponzini from geography and environment, Justin Fong from mathematics, Colin Orion Chandler from physics and astronomy, and Abby Ardu for special programs, scientific knowledge applied to healing. Please give these students your applause. Please be seated. So now I have the privilege to introduce and make her stand up again, Adriana Garcia. She's an undergraduate Hood recipient for the College of Science and Engineering. She's receiving her Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry. She'll receive this degree with the honor of summa cum laude. She's a native of Central California. She initially studied graphic design in the Art Institute of San Francisco. However, she sought greater intellectual challenges, so she enrolled in science courses at the City College of San Francisco. There she excelled in biology and chemistry, and she also qualified for participation in an NIH Bridges Summer Internship, a program jointly operated by the City College of San Francisco and San Francisco State. She admits her first semester of research was intimidating, but she drew upon her inner courage to continue. Initially, she studied embryonic deformities in zebrafish that resulted from exposure to common drugs such as Benadryl and Sudafed. Later, she teamed up with chemistry professor Raymond Esquera to study the structural interactions and binding of nitrates to important proteins such as hemoglobin and myoglobin. These studies will help in the design of nitrate-based drugs to be used for cardiovascular disease. Her journey has taken her from the study of art to the art of applying advanced analytical techniques, such as the application of magnetic circular dichroism to examine biologically important proteins. She will use these skills and knowledge as she starts her doctoral studies this summer at Stanford University. Congratulations, Adriana. It is now my pleasure to welcome President Wong back to the podium for his closing remarks.
Wow. Tonight, we have seen what makes this such an extraordinary university. We are a public heritage university where individuals establish a higher education legacy for their families and generations to follow, and where developing the skills and talents of our citizens builds a legacy of success for our state, our nation, and our world. Our students are as talented and as exciting a group as you will find anywhere, and their varied backgrounds, cultures, and experiences make this a far richer university. I see in this honors convocation an exceptional opportunity to make a large university a little bit smaller and a little more personal. We've heard a handful of individual stories tonight as our hood recipients were introduced. If we had the same opportunity to learn about each student on this stage, we would be awed by their courage, their intellectual breadth, their accomplishments, and their perseverance we would see in all of them. This has been an evening of celebration and shared delight. For the friends and families of our students, I hope that you got a glimpse of how we make magic happen here at San Francisco State. Let me ask you once again to celebrate these outstanding students, soon to be graduates, who have made this such an inspiring evening. So why don't you all stand up? I'm going to make them remain standing for a bit longer. I have a reason for asking these students to stand. That reason is you, the friends and relatives, family members, children, and parents who are here tonight. As you have heard, many of our honor students would not have been successful without your steadfast support. Therefore, it seems only appropriate for all of us here on stage, our honor students and our faculty seated in the audience, to salute you, the families and friends who have guided and encouraged these students throughout the years. So will our honorees and faculties please join me in a round of applause for our audience. Now you can sit down. This evening's celebration does not end with this ceremony. Thanks to the University Women's Association, which sponsored our first honors convocation 36 years ago and has participated in every year since, we are all invited to a reception in Jack Adams Hall at the Cesar Chavez Student Center. I look forward to seeing all of you there. I now ask that our guests remain seated until our honor students and faculty have left the theater. Students are reminded to stop by Newth Hall to pick up their award certificates before going to the reception. Our 2016 honors convocation has come to a close. As you are honored graduates, as soon as you leave us, know that you go with our love and certainly our confidence. May tonight be just a first taste of joys and honors to come. So will the members of the platform party, the honorees, and our university faculty please rise? And with the platform party, please join me in exiting the stage.